Well, thanks so much. I am delighted to be able to share with you the Candesant story. Candesant Biomedical, we deliver no sweat in just 3 minutes. We chose this photograph deliberately because aesthetics is not just about looking good, it's about feeling good. And this particular photograph kind of captures the exuberance of what our consumers feel like to not think about their sweat. You know, it's funny that we're here at the aesthetics showcase and we talked about face, and we talked about below the belt, and we totally skipped the underarms. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the underarms and how they make us feel. So sweat control, even though your patients might not be thinking about it, is a top need in aesthetics. And in fact, when we talk to aesthetic consumers, actually we didn't, a major society talked to consumers and said, what are the things that bother you most? And the first time that sweating was on the list, it came to the top 6. And it was more impactful to consumers than things like cellulite or laxity or even wrinkles on their forehead. So it's something that consumers are thinking about because it has a dramatic quality of life impact. A lot of people are just altering their lifestyles to cope. They're wearing dark clothes. They're embarrassed by sweat stains. They report unhappiness or depression. So it's not a surprise that about 80% of people are looking for new solutions. And even though there are products on the market that work actually quite well, a lot of those products give side effects or have downsides, whether they be needles, downtime, dry mouth, dry eye. And when we talked to consumers who suffered, we said, why aren't you satisfied with these treatments that actually work particularly well? And what they told us is for quality of life conditions like excessive sweating, they don't want to trade one quality of life annoyance for another one. So that bar is not only high for efficacy, but also for convenience, for ease of use, and of course for our physician partners, they want to make money at it as well. And we think we have a solution, and I'm delighted for the first time on stage to say, here comes Brella, the FDA-cleared 3-minute sweat control patch. Woohoo! Brella is an in-office procedure. It's a non-invasive topical patch. There's minimal discomfort, no downtime. It stays on each underarm for 3 minutes or less, and it gives a 3 to 4 month duration of effect. So we truly do deliver on the 3 minutes, 3 months sweat control. So let's talk a little bit about the technology that underlies this. So the company developed targeted alkali thermolysis, which basically is the principle that sodium, when it comes in contact with water, generates thermal energy or heat. And our insight was that if you limit the amount of sodium and you limit the amount of water, you get a very precise microthermal injury at the very site of the contact. We deliver our therapy in a flexible sodium patch, and when you put that patch onto a dry underarm, the only place where there is water contacting the sodium is right at the top of the sweat duct leading into the sweat gland, and that's where you get the precise heating, and that's what causes the reduction in sweating. It is truly a simple 1, 2, 3 procedure. That you clean and dry the patient's underarm, you apply the patch, leave it on for 3 minutes. This is actually the patch in clinical use. You remove the patch, dispose of it, and the patient goes on their merry way. This wouldn't matter unless the product really worked. So we've completed 3 clinical studies, all of which had consistent data, the largest of which was our pivotal study, where we saw 3 to 4 month duration. We achieved our primary and all secondary endpoints, but equally importantly, we measured quality of life impact. We asked consumers in the study, do you feel more confident? Are you less embarrassed? Are you less frustrated? And so we'll be able to give those kinds of benefits to our patients and our physician partners as we go to market. It also has an incredible safety profile. We've treated almost 150 subjects, the vast majority of whom had no AEs at all, and we consider AEs even mild redness or even mild edema. Those AEs tended to be mild, and all of them resolved without sequela. So shifting gears a little bit to our business model. In our business model, we're going to market a little bit differently from products who've attacked this market in the past. We're really making sure that our procedure and product is economically compelling to the practices. We're focusing on consumers who are motivated, in the office, and willing to pay, and also generating a recurring revenue stream for the company. So we're focused on the right practices, those large aesthetic practices that are in large metro areas, those medical spas that do a great deal of procedures with this aesthetic consumer. And it's got a lot of practice appeal because it's a high-margin, self-pay procedure. There is zero capital expense. This is a single-unit disposable device. Because of the price point, when we're aiming for an entry-level price point in the practice, it's an attractive way to cross-sell and upsell your existing patients. The incremental revenue opportunity for the practice is quite large because there's no physician time required. Anyone in your practice who operates an energy device can operate our product. There's minimal to no incremental chair time because it can be done while a patient's numbing or perhaps doing a body contouring procedure, and it's a recurring revenue stream. The key thing is that we're focused on patients who are already in your practice getting other procedures. We found that 56%, more than half of the patients already in the practice, are bothered by their excessive sweating. And they're right in that sweet spot of entry-level procedures with almost half of them being under 40. And despite the fact that they're in your office, in the physician's offices, less than 30% have ever talked to their doctors about sweating. So they remain undiagnosed. They're an untapped market sitting right in the office in the chairs. And this commercial focus on the undiagnosed consumers, if you think that there are about 18 million people getting procedures right now, about half of them, more than half of them, are in the practice. And half of those, when we present them with the Brella concept, say, yes, I want that, yes, I'll do that. So it's an incremental opportunity for the practice. So when you look at us compared to some of the other products out there, as I mentioned before, there are lots of products that work actually quite well. But when you look at, are there side effects? Is it invasive? Is it affordable to the patient? Does it make money for the practice? That's where the other products tend to fall down, and we literally and figuratively want to check all those boxes. We're not just focused on the underarm. We're going to have a robust sweat control pipeline, looking first at not just axillary sweating, but axillary odor. Other body parts, chest, groin, hand, face, and then potentially down the line, perhaps even an OTC product. So in sum, we have a full complement of attributes that make us really compelling. A great business model. We're poised to continue to take advantage of the aesthetic market. Did I mention that we were FDA cleared just last week? We've got a strong IP position and an experienced management team ready to take this home. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you more.